the red flag coming out for a fire on the 20 car, Royce Berry's car. Unfortunately, having some flames underneath the hood, which is pretty much the only thing that necessitates a red flag. Tough break for Royce. There he is out of the 20 car after a little bit of fire underneath of the hood of that machine. And this will give a chance for all of the competitors who are out of the running to get out of their vehicles and make it to the safety of the infield before we get ready to restart this main event. So fire extinguished in the front straight. As you can see, quite a few cars kind of stacked up on the inside wall, already out of the running of this one. So getting ready to clear out some of the drivers, make their way to the infield. So again, drivers who are out of the running are now able to make their way to the infield so that we can get underway with the restart of the program. And again, the red flag showing. We're only a few minutes into this Total Destruction and already thinning out this very big field of Total Destruction competitors. Sean Hitchings, former winner, the season opening winner, Bryce Muir in the 99, also still in contention. As the red flag has been lifted, the horn has sounded, and we are back hitting once again aloud as the officials are clear off of the front straight. As you can see, only about 5-6 cars left, pretty much in the running of this one. Aaron Prop, the 69, still able to drag that machine around. Sean Hitchings, the 83, still up and running. 27, Dakota Hansen, his way back up. Looks like pretty much 4 cars left. Neufeld smoldering, unable to try and get back up and running. Hitchings in the 83 trying to slowly back his way into the 15 machine. David Newell behind the wheel. Aaron Prop kind of getting cornered in as well. Another car you can see Sanderson is on the track with tire and some more stock vehicles over there. The 30 machine still running as well. That's George Newell. George and David Newell trying to get it up on Aaron Cross and Sean Hitchings. Another car over there. You can see the light up the lip sign trying to bash its way out of the corner that it is in to try and join into the party. He's still up and running. So by the list of things, 5 cars still left in this long tour of this Total Destruction Derby. Prop, smoke shooting out of the parts of that machine as he tries to get it restarted. As Newell backs into a little flicker of flame out of the exhaust, a little bit of unburned fuel, nothing too major, be able to get it back up and running. George Newell trying to back up into position as Hitchings has found himself wound into the side of the stock car. Prop with a big shot in the back of him. Newell and Prop trying to set each other up. David Newell in the 15, George Newell in the 30, Aaron Prop in the 69 trying to run away from things and finish off Hitchings. Newell into the back of Prop. Steam out from underneath the hood of Prop's machine. Coming down to the final few cars in this Total Destruction Derby. Hitchings looks to be out. Newell in the 30 trying to escape Prop. David Newell back in. Aaron Prop is George Newell in the 30. trying to go to the corner and try and find a way to reverse into the action over there in the orange 30 machine, but it doesn't look like that car is back up and running yet. Newell backs into prop, big shot into the front of the 69. As George Newell able to get the 30 car back up and running, trying to point it into the direction of the net. Newell and Prop continuing to back into each other now. It's Newell versus Newell. David and George going at it. David Newell turns around. Here comes George running a hit into the side of Aaron Prop. Newell versus Prop. As the 69 pitched up against the wall. Big hit from Newell into the side of the 15. As Aaron Prop's car stopped up against the wall, it's going to be David and George Newell facing off. And one car is still doing an Austin Powers trying to get into the program. David Newell and George Newell going at it back and forth. Basically 2 cars, all that's left. George trying to run away, David trying to set it up. And then crab walking, toe slightly knocked out on it. Trying to set it up as they play the slowest game of cat and mouse we have ever seen at Saratoga Speedway. David Newell trying to run away and hide. George trying to bully him with the Prius. The first time that sentence has ever been said. David trying to push George into the fence. George able to drive away. And now gets in front, sets it up, pushing David against the wall. David comes back though, steering knocked out of it. Lightly lands a tap. The automotive effect of a pillow fight happening over towards the Courtney Auto Supply sign right now. George Newell trying to set himself up for a front shot. David Newell trying to back in. Huge hit from the 30. David not giving in though. The thing's still running down to the final 2 cars in the total destruction. Still landing shots on each other. David trying to land something on George. The 30 backing up for another attempt at silencing the 15. And somehow both of them still running. Down to the final 2 cars for the Pelon Tour Rentals Total Destruction, and it is down to the final rounds. A lockdown, drag it out fast is Newell versus Newell. There, David finally lands that front shot. George able to circle around and get into the 15 of David Newell. And David trying to creep away. Here comes George trying to land one more hit. Pushing the 15 over. And pinning a 15 car up against some of the other stock vehicles that litter the front straight here at Saratoga Speedway. But David actually pushing back at George, who's reversing, trying to get into position once more. George setting him up. Needs one big shot, as the 2 of them have been barely landing hits on each other now for the past few minutes. George trying to get it going again. David up and running still. Here comes George, finally finds a gear. There's a big shot. Both cars barely hanging on. George wanted to hear some noise. He's going to try and set it up. Here comes the big hit. They meet in the middle. toying with each other at this point. Is David Newell going to try and set it up? Trying to back into George. George still trying to get into gear. Trying to get the 30 car to back up and run. You can hear it turning over. There it is. Lands it in the back of David. And again, somehow, the Prius keeps running. Smashing him into a corner. Here comes George into the front of David once again. Trying to reverse back into the 15. Can't quite get the speed up to land a solitary hit, as the 15's pretty much stopped by the Courtney Auto Supply sign now. Here comes a 30 with a big hit into the side. George bounces it into the concrete. Waiting to hear if that is it. Both cars stop. There's the air horn. That is going to do it. George Newell, your total destruction winner here at Saratoga Speedway for P-Lawn Tools Rentals Championship night. How about giving all of your Saratoga Speedway total destruction competitors a round of applause as we finish off our 2025